Okay. Do we have any comments from the General Manager?
Just one. I'll preempt Mr. Ajayan. I just wanted to mention that the Yucca plant, which we previously reported on, the power plant, where putting together a pipeline and metering equipment so that we can purchase our own gas going in there. That's going to take a month or two longer, but we've procured a strip at around $4 for gas for that gap, so that it's not insignificant because it is providing us with additional savings.
Thank you. Legal counsel?
Nothing, Mr. President.
Mr. President, can I speak? I got here late, or is it too late to say anything?
He's on the agenda.
Are you want to speak besides the one item that you have on the agenda?
What is that item?
You're number 2 on the agenda.
Okay, then I'll wait.
No, I thought I was going to get even with you.
I'll do both if you let me. There is an item I want to speak. It's not on the agenda.
Well, come on up.
Thank you. Good evening, Attorney Ramos, the Central Resident. Mr. President and board members and public, last week I was hearing an item that I guess it's in the agenda, and I'm not going to speak about that right now, but it does come to kind of like a afterthought, like memories from the past when I started working for the County Probation Department 35 years ago. I was told not to speak Spanish back then. And I had to fight the system, and 35 years later I was still here because I fought the system and I was right. And it was very awkward for me to work under those conditions. And last week, 3 or 4 gentlemen and a lady or somebody came forward and asked this board about issues that they had. One of the gentlemen used the word prejudice. He spoke a little broken English, but he spoke clearly enough for people to understand. And, you know, people that work here, and you people, I know you, it's hard for me to point a finger and say, well, it's personnel, it's the power crew, it's the water crew or the water department. But there is issues, and I could sense, even you, Stella, that it kind of took you back. Because these things should be happening. And when they view these publicly, it almost puts a question mark on the IID and the board. Because they say, well, if the board allows it, then there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know what's going to happen about those issues with those people about it, but I felt that they had very strong concerns. They took a chance coming in here because they felt they were going to be retaliated upon. But I don't think that Mr. Brady will allow that to happen. As I said before, I think highly of this gentleman. I think he can come through, but everything's going to fall back on you, Mr. Brady, because people work under you. And I've seen general managers come and go, and I hope this issue doesn't come up later on because it is causing a big issue in the public's eye. The only thing, people don't come and speak about it. I don't know why. I mean, people knew about this meeting and other meetings, and you know, there's 25% of people that vote for the other 75%. But I would advise you, board members, to take a step forward and get involved. And if it has to come to you, board members, to decide what to do with, because it doesn't look good for the IID, especially nowadays when we saw a big turnaround where slaves, I repeat, were the ones that built the White House, and now we have an African American as president. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. We'll move on to the action agenda. Item number 1, adoption of resolution opposing AB 64.
Yes, Mr. President and members. As you recall, at the February 3rd regular meeting, the IID board was briefed on and adopted an opposition position to AB 64 over issues of overly aggressive schedule for mandatory renewable generation, and in particular a concept of a renewables infrastructure authority, which might preempt this board's authority on siting transmission lines. What you have before you in the packet is a resolution in opposition to AB 64, and this has been developed in conjunction with Mr. Walco, our lobbyist in Sacramento.
And this resolution, if adopted, will be passed on to the legislature?
Yes.
I so move to accept, to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion from the rest of the group? Any discussion from the public? All right, please vote. Let's move on to the information agenda. Under governance, presentation of signage and gallery trust by a central resident, Tony Ramos.
Thank you again. I gave Mr. Kelly a copy of the estimate on the Gallery Trust, and I don't know if you guys have a copy of that? No? Anyway, it is an estimate of and it's my fault for not bringing it, not bringing it. Kevin Kelly's a good friend of mine. Anyway, it is, we got an estimate already. Maybe it's going to cost like $1,400 to put that up. And it's going to be in, they call it satin metal or something like that. And excuse me for not being prepared, I didn't bring my copies either. But we wanted to go ahead and order and advise the board that it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks to get here.
Mr. Ramos, how large is this?
They're going to be 8-inch, 6 to 8-inch letters. We're not sure yet.
Overall, how big?
It's going to take a space of about 8 foot to put the Ngagwe Trust. And if we need more time next Tuesday when we meet, I'll bring the information to you.
I would like to see it.
Yeah.
Like to see it in the writing and the design and who will be paying for this.
Yeah, we will. It won't be a penny from the IID or anything. It'll be all donations. But
Kelly?
Yes, board members, Mr. Ramos provided just a cost estimate. What you need is an actual mock-up of what he proposes to put in the boardrooms.
And that's right, board members. It was just an estimate, and it wasn't nothing like, you know, here it is, and this is the design. But it's going to be in our architectural type letters. They're kind of bold letters. It's something like what I showed you before in a package I gave you, and they're going to take like an 8-foot span, 8-foot span, and it's going to, they call it gold satin or something like that, but it's a material that's kind of scratched and it looks really, really nice, especially in front of courthouses and all that. But what I'll do, I'll have at least that information for you next time.
Would appreciate
And then next Tuesday you meet again, right? And I'll try and provide that for you. But it's going to cost, I think, about $1,400, $1,500, $1,600. But we already have, I think, the money to pay for it, and it's all been by donations. And I guess once I get that Stella a write-up, design or something, then I'll present to you next Tuesday. If not, I'll present what I have, and then take it from there. But we wanted to go ahead and order it because it's something that's going to take time, and I think that by the time that we order it, the board would at least know about it. But at the same time, I would want to give the board the courtesy to look at it and approve it and decide it before we do.
Mr. Ramos, don't order anything until the board looks
Yeah.
at the design and approves the design.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's the first time I've done this, so I'm not sure which way to go, and it's because it is a public, not a private, it is a private deal, not a public deal. I wasn't sure what to do, but at least you set me straight on what to do, and we'll do that.
Make sure that the board is well aware of the design and the size and so forth before we take further action.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mr. Ramos, is there going to be any emblems at all on it, or is it just?
I can provide more of the package I provided you the last time, like examples. But other